Hey everyone, Erica here of thefeelgoodshift.com. Today we are talking about complaining and how it's keeping all your blessings away. Because complaining basically means that two things, right? So when you're complaining about stuff, it means that you're not happy with the way that your life is right now, which means that you're not at a happy vibration, you're resonating lower. When you're resonating lower, you're actually keeping things from coming in because miracles happen up here, right? This is when you're happy with your life. This is when everything is kind of kosher. This is when you're expansive, when like this gratitude is expressing itself constantly. So when you're complaining, your vibration actually lowers. You can't be here and expect all kinds of miracles when you're vibrating down here. And as you're complaining, it's kind of perpetuating the state in which you're currently in. So every time you're sitting there complaining about, the way that your life is right now, about what someone did to you, about, your boss, your friend, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever the case may be, you're actually perpetuating that state. So one of the main things that you want to do is not go into that spiral. Because not only are you complaining about your life, but chances are that you're complaining to someone about something and they're getting caught up in your downward spiral. So really paying a lot of attention to what's coming out of your mouth because it's a reflection of what's going on in your head. So if you're thinking negative, if you're thinking like, this is crap and I don't want this and everything else, you're going to get more of that crap and more of what you don't want because the universe doesn't know the difference between what you want and what you don't want. It only resonates with a frequency and a vibration. So the more that you're sitting there complaining and spinning, the more that you're creating that situation. It's kind of like you're complaining about your boss. Let's say you have a boss and he or she is driving you insane and it's just like they're rubbing you the wrong way and everything about them irks you and you're angry and all this other stuff, like that is actually perpetuating that cycle. Like you complaining about it is actually going to continue keeping that frequency exactly where it's at, and nothing's going to get better. Like you're just going to keep complaining about this person because you're not doing anything proactive to change the situation or change yourself. Because the moment that you shift your frequency, the moment that you shift your view, all of a sudden the situation itself changes. So I always want you to think like the first thing that you need to do to change things on the outside is change your inside, is change your vibration, is change your frequency. Because if you're tuned into my boss sucks, your boss is going to continue not being a pleasant person. If you tune into it doesn't matter who he or she is because I'm grounded in my power, all of a sudden everything becomes minute and you can handle everything going on with you. It's really important because I feel like we don't realize the power that our words have and the power that we have when we are speaking out loud. Like your words are your wands, like your words are your power. So every time that you're speaking about something, if it's like negative, if it's like, you're not happy with something, someone did something, or you're continuing to like play things from the past and bringing that forward because it's somehow making you feel better, it's somehow validating like the negativity that's going on in your life, is somehow validating like this low place that you're allowing yourself to be, then we definitely need to look at like, why is this happening in the first place? Because that sense of complaining and almost wanting, like feeling entitled to the complaint, is keeping you at a really low point. If you don't like something about your life, you have two options. You either don't change it, but you also don't have the right to complain, or change something and you also don't have the right to complain. So either way, complaining is a waste of time. So it's along the lines of worrying, and I did the worry video yesterday, but if you're complaining about something, it means that you're not happy with the situation. So you either take proactive steps to changing the situation, or if you're not changing the situation and you're just going to sit in it, then you are choosing to stay in it, then you have no right to complain because you are choosing to stay in that situation. And I'm never going to like give you permission to take the disempowered space where you're kind of saying, well, this is the way it is and I have no choice and this is just what the card that has been handed to me, because I don't put up with that. Like, I think like that's a bunch of BS. Like, if you are complaining about something and you're not happy with it, then you have every right to change it. Like, the reason why you're complaining is because there's something in you seeking more and wanting more and desiring more. So if you're not listening to that and you just want to keep spinning into your own like complaining mode, that's the first thing to look at. Is like, if you're perpetually complaining about something, why are you complaining about something? Is it because you're not happy? Is it because, there's something else going on with you? And you have to get to the root of the complaint, because most of the time when I hear people complaining, there's a little bit of a victim mentality going on in the background. It's kind of like, well, I can't do that, or, this person did this, or blah, blah, blah. And it's very disempowering. When you're complaining, it means that you're a victim of the circumstances. That is not at all who you are. If you've been following me, you know that I believe that we're all magnificent beings able to create and co-create and have these amazing lives. So the moment that you're sitting there complaining about the way that a situation is, you are choosing to play small. You are choosing to make this situation bigger than you. And at that moment, you become a victim. At that moment, you become small. At that moment, you lose your power. And I'm all about empowering. So if you're complaining about something, you have, again, two choices. You can either take proactive steps to do something about it and really see that breakthrough and that change and really find that gratitude over something that you have achieved for yourself, or you get to stay where you are, knowing that it's by choice, and you lose the right to complain. But complaining is a waste of time. Like, you spinning around, going in cycles, is not serving anything. So when you're thinking about a situation that you're not happy about, is why are you not happy with that situation? And what can you do to change it? Even if it's one small thing, what can you do to change it? Or what can you do to change your perspective? Because A Course in Miracles teaches us that a miracle is just a change in perception. So the moment that you can change the way that you are seeing, like you can put on a different set of goggles and look at the situation slightly different, that's going to change everything. Because now it's not about the situation itself, it's about how you're feeling and thinking about the situation that is creating a vortex of energy around you that is either going to dismiss the situation or create change. When we're sitting here and we're thinking about being in the co-creative space, this becomes really important, because I find a lot of people complain, and this is just habitual complaining. Like, sometimes they don't even know what they're complaining about. They're just so used to complaining about something that they don't know how to be just in this really peaceful, expansive space, just being in full gratitude for whatever's going on within their lives. So it takes a lot of practice for you to really take the smallness and the complaining and that really tight space and become expansive. Because the moment that you're holding this big gratitude, loving space, it's impossible for you to feel angry or fearful or worrying or complain about anything, because all you're feeling is bliss. Like, this is something that I go through every single day. Like, on my way home today, I was like, wow, my life is so freaking amazing. Like, I just came back from this amazing trip and like amazing opportunities showing up, amazing clients that are signing up to work with me, amazing everything. Like, I'm in awe of my life every single day I wake up. And it's like, the moment that I catch myself going into like that slight complaining mode, I'm like, wait a minute, where am I not appreciating my life exactly as it is right now? And if there is a complaint within me, what can I do to then shift out of it? So the challenge for you is, what are you complaining about? And what can you do to change it? If you can't do anything to change the situation physically, what can you do to change the way that you're viewing it? What can you do to change the way that you are choosing to see the situation? Are you choosing a victim mentality, or are you choosing an empowered mentality? If you're going with the victim mentality, chances are that things feel overwhelming and out of control and like there's nothing you can do. So my invitation to you is to know that within any perceived problem that you may have right now lies the solution. So you complaining about it just means that we have to think a little bit deeper about what's really causing the stress or the unhappiness in your life. There's always an underlying message, and the situation itself is there to teach you something or show you something about yourself, that there's still room for growth, that there's still this space where you can expand and become even more engaging and even more expansive and even more grateful. Because sometimes it's what are you not grateful for at this moment? What are you taking your focus out of that is draining you of energy? And the more that you complain, the lower the vibration, the lower the space, it just keeps you in this like cycle of worrying. And it's like, can you let go of that spin? Can you let go of the need to complain, or the need to be right, or the need to, make someone else wrong? Because that's ultimately what complaining is usually you wanting to be right and somebody else being wrong, or you wanting to validate, being angry or whatever the case may be. So think about that a little bit when you're thinking about who is causing the stress in your life, who is causing this unhappiness, is ultimately you. Like, you're the only person that can really make those changes. Like, if you're not seeing things clearly, if something is feeling like it's overwhelming, like it's out of your control, this is the perfect opportunity for you to break free by changing something. If you can't change the physical situation, like the outward, you can always change something inside of you. Whether it's a shift in mindset, meaning that I can change this and I'm going to take proactive steps to changing the situation, starting with myself, starting with the way that I'm feeling about this, starting with the way that I'm thinking about this, and what would be the best situation instead. Like, okay, if this is not making me happy, ultimately, what would make me happy? If this isn't making me happy, what would make me happy? And then what would make me happy? What is one step that I can take today to get me to the ultimate space for myself? It's a lot of practice. This is daily practice. This is daily intentional living. This is daily mindfulness. This is daily. This is every day. Muscle, minute by minute, hour by hour, just figuring out what is it that you need to be thinking about and feeling into in order to really create those shifts in your life. Like, remember, this is all getting over your thinking, getting over your conditioning, getting over who you have believed yourself to be up until this point, and starting to embrace the idea that you are limitless, that you can truly be, do, and have anything that you want. So this is my little rant for today. Remember that complaining just means that there's something that is wanting to be shifted. Complaining is just somewhere where you're not happy that needs to be shifted. And sometimes it's just a thought. Can you change the way that you're thinking or feeling about a situation? Or are there steps that you can actually take to better something that you're not necessarily, content with? This is you taking control of your life. This is you taking control of who you are being. This is you taking control of you, of your experience in this realm, and you taking control of what you can control ultimately, which is you, just your inner world. Like, you might not be able to change anything on the outside, but you can always change yourself on the inside. And you can always choose to be happier, and you can always choose to be more compassionate, and you can always choose to be gentler, and you can always choose to be more empowered and take the higher road and really believe that, there's no limits. And if there's a situation in your life that is causing you, pain or grief, that it is all within you to make that shift happen. If you're having a challenge, getting over something like that, feel free to reach out. You can email me, Erica, ERIKA, @thefeelgoodshift.com, and we can set a time to talk. You can also join my Manifesting Powerhouses group. The link is with this video, and we're doing a lot of amazing work there right now. We're going to do our first live call this Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. If you're in the group, the call-in information is there, so you just have to wait for 4 o'clock on Sunday and call it in. And I'm going to be doing a massive Q&A, and we're going to be getting through a lot of blocks, and we're going to be like honing in some serious manifesting. If that's something that you're interested in and you're, ready to change your life, and complaining is something that you're just done with, join the group. I'm going to be going there live in a few more minutes, just hyping them up and getting them really excited about all the amazing stuff that we're putting together. And I can't wait. Like, I'm really coming from my heart, and I hope that this is resonating with you. And if it's not, that's okay. Just know that I believe in you. I believe that you are this magnificent being, and that you can get an amazing life, and you can live your dreams. Like, now is when, like, go for it. Like, there's no waiting, like now. Like, you can change your perspective. You can change your inner game. You can change your thoughts. You can go deeper and really live from the heart, and expand into a place where it's blissful, where it's beautiful, where your life has full depth and meaning, and where you're 100% happy with everything that is going on around you. If that sounds juicy, join the group, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Signing off for now, Erica Matos, feelgoodshift.com. Mwah, love and many blessings. Talk to you soon. Ciao for now.